to ask the Lord's blessing. He chastens and hastens His will to make known the wicked oppressor.
Okay, here we go. We're doing candied yam. Now, in the past I have attempted to do candied yam. I have two factions of sweet potato people in my family. One half enjoys candied yams or sweet potatoes. I use the terms interchangeably, however, they are not the same thing. But in any case, half my family likes sweet potatoes that are boiled, mashed with butter and brown sugar, covered in marshmallows, and baked. The other half, includes myself, enjoys them candied in an extremely sticky syrup and cooked until it's almost overdone. So that's what we're going to make today. We are starting off with a 40-ounce can of yam, which is kind of ambiguous because it says yam, cut sweet potatoes and syrup. So this is what you want. You want to take these and you want to drain all but 1/3. Put 1/3 of a cup of the juice from inside the can in a measuring cup. 1/3 of a cup. Then put your yam in a baking dish or in a foil pan. Okay, we're back. Our butter is melted. Our butter is melted. I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, light or dark, your choice, doesn't matter. I'm going to stir that in there. And then it's called for 2/3 of a cup of the cooking liquid, but I'm going to try something different. I took 1/3 of a cup of the cooking liquid and I rounded it off with an additional 1/3 of a cup of molasses because I think that is what my grandmother used to put in her candied yams to make them really sticky and brown and delicious. So I am going to try this. I am also going to put about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of allspice. Thanks, Molly. And I'm just going to estimate. I'm just going to shake it in here. No, I'm not. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. Toss that in there. Okay. I'm going to wait for this to boil. And then we're going to pour it over our sweet potatoes that are in our baking dish. Then the instructions say to put it in a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes, stirring and basting occasionally. So you're going to want to keep an eye on these. Of course, they do have a high sugar content with the brown sugar and the molasses in there, and you're going to want to keep an eye on these so that they don't burn. They are going to get browned and sticky and really, really good. So I'm just going to go ahead. This is good enough. We're going to come over here. We're going to pour this over. That looks really good already. Get all that goodness in there. We don't lose a drop. Okay, now I'm just going to give these a light toss. These sweet potatoes are very, very delicate, and they're going to get mashed up if you're not careful. So that's where I'm going to leave ya. And then when you see me next, we're going to be making mashed potatoes. And I know you all know how to do that. We're going to do mashed potatoes and gravy. And then we're going to show you what we did. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to fix you a plate. Because I know after watching me cook all day, you have got to be hungry. So we'll be back in just a little while. Okay. I've run a few errands. I've let some things cook away. I've got the stuffing and the candied yams in the oven. I basted the yams one time, and everything's cooking away. But for right now, I just want to let you know what I did was I cubed up about 5 medium-sized russet potatoes. I left their skins on. I peeled 3 large cloves of garlic, and I put them in this water, and I set the pot to boil, and these are now ready to drain. I didn't figure you needed me to show you how to cut up potatoes, because I have complete confidence that you can do that all by yourself. Now I'm just going to drain the potatoes. What I am going to do is I'm going to take about a half a stick of butter, and I'm going to put it in here. Just like that. Well, let the potatoes go in right on top. And they're hot, so be careful. I think I just... Okay, now I'm just going to set that aside. And I'm going to get myself a wooden spoon, because the rest of this we can just stir in. Now this is all blended up nicely. These are nice and smooth. And remember, you know, homemade mashed potatoes are supposed to be a little bit lumpy. That's how I like them. I'm going to take about a half a cup of sour cream, and I'm going to blend it in here. You can, you know, some people, they just use straight milk or cream that's been warmed on the stove. Sometimes they infuse it with some herbs and some garlic while it's warming up. I enjoy using sour cream. I think it's simple, I think it's delicious, and mostly we always have that on hand. Not everybody always has half and half or heavy cream. I think that you use what you like. If you just want to use milk, go right ahead. But this is how I like to make my mashed potatoes. So, there we have it. How simple was that? I'm going to grind in some salt here. This is some sea salt. Potatoes like salt. Now, I did salt the water when I boiled the potatoes. I'm going to stir that in. And I like black pepper in my potatoes. Some people choose white pepper. If that's what you like, that's what you should use. This is not brain surgery. I think Thanksgiving scares people because it's this giant meal. And they remember when they were kids that, you know, they just sat down to this delicious meal. Sometimes they didn't have a whole lot to do with the preparation. Some of us have been helping with the preparation for as long as they can remember. Now, these are done. I'm going to clean up the edges of my pot. I'm going to set them aside on the back of the stove, and dinner is going to be finished in just a little while. So, we'll be right back, and I'm going to show you how to make the gravy.
We gather together to ask the Lord's blessing. He chastens and hastens His will to make known. The wicked